We're going to start, if everybody's ready, with our press conference here on the shooting and identification and update on yesterday's events. And before we get started, I wanted to introduce everybody that is up here with me. I'm David Walker, Wise County Sheriff. Kevin Benton is our enforcement captain in the back with the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Rex Hoskins is the police chief of Decatur. El Paso County, Colorado is Inspector John St. Augustine. Paul Cunningham with Montague County Sheriff's Office, and Colorado Bureau of Investigations Assistant Director Steve Johnson. To give you a little idea of what we're going to discuss briefly here today is the events of what we've done in the last 24 hours. If you would, hold all your questions until we're through, and I'll answer all the questions that we possibly can, and then defer some to the other guys that are up here with me. One of the first things we'd like to do is, most important, is to ask Paul Cunningham, or Sheriff Cunningham, to come up and give us an update on his deputy that was injured in the shooting yesterday.
Thank you, Sheriff Walker. Like Sheriff Walker said, my name's Paul Cunningham. I am the Sheriff of Montague County. Our deputy that was injured yesterday in the traffic stop is doing great. I talked to his mom and dad this morning. He was sitting up in bed and talking, so that's a great thing.
I know most of the media outlets have already posted or shown a picture of the suspect from yesterday. From our standpoint here at the Sheriff's Office here in Wise County, we will go ahead and release his name and officially say that Evan Spencer Ebel, last name spelling E-B-E-L, and I believe most of you already have that, 8/16 of 1984 is our confirmed suspect. There was some talk yesterday that he was on life support. He has been pronounced deceased, and that is our suspect. We will release through email shortly a photo. If you don't have that, you can request it from our office. I believe most of you probably already do have that. Within the last 24 hours after identifying the suspect positively with the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office, we did that through fingerprint identification with investigators with the Rangers, FBI, and others. We had the El Paso County Sheriff's Office in Colorado made official notification to the family, and at the present time, the Colorado authorities, along with the Sheriff's Office investigators from Wise County, are at the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office attending the autopsy. We have no results from the autopsy yet, and probably will not for several days, but that is the update on the suspect. As the investigation continues, we want to make very clear that everyone realizes that this is an ongoing investigation. There'll be a lot of information that we gather that we, at the present time, do not want to release from Texas nor Colorado, but we will release some information, and we'll release more as the case continues. Texas Department of Public Safety crime team out of Garland, Texas, is here working with the Texas Rangers and working with our crime scene investigator, Corey Harris, and others, processing the vehicle, the suspect vehicle. And I will also reiterate, yesterday we mentioned the black Cadillac that is a black Cadillac with Colorado plates. That is, at the present time, that's our only connection to Colorado. We did make calls yesterday to the Colorado authorities, obviously, and they came down for an inquiry to see what we had in our Texas. Right now, we will continue with the processing of the vehicle over at the Sheriff's Office. Anything we learn from the vehicle, we're actually looking for any type of physical evidence, biological evidence, or trace evidence. All that will be collected and analyzed. We will also share our findings with the Colorado authorities, and that hopefully will help them determine yes or no if this is related to any of their crimes at all. We, as I said a second ago, the investigation is continuing. We are still asking for any of the public that saw anything, heard anything, witnessed the chase, to contact the sheriff's office here in Wise County so we can follow up with them as potential witnesses, and we will do that aggressively and work through the weekend to do any more investigation we need to do. At the present time, I'll call for Steve or John from El Paso County Sheriff's Office.
Inspector John San Augustine with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Just want to begin first by expressing our thoughts and prayers to Deputy James Boyd. I think that's the number one in this investigation. Number two, I want to thank Sheriff Walker, along with the Texas Rangers and Texas DPS, for not only their hospitality, but allowing us from Colorado to come down here and shadow their efforts as they conduct their investigation. As the sheriff said, I want to make it very clear, that this is still an active and open investigation. Over the last 60-plus hours, our deputies and detectives have been working around the clock, following up on leads into the murder of our Executive Director, Tom Clements. We're here in Texas to do follow-up. That's why we're here. I'm not going to talk about any of the specifics of what evidentiary items have been found. And the reason for that is, number one, it's still ongoing. There's still a lot of testing that has to occur. And at which point there is some answers, I will refer all of those questions to our PIO, Lieutenant Jeff Kramer, who is back in Colorado Springs. At this point, I'll turn it over to the Assistant Director, Steve Johnson.
And I am Steve Johnson. I'm an Assistant Director with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. First and foremost, I'd like to echo the sentiments for the thoughts and prayers for the speedy recovery of Deputy Boyd. We've only been in Wise County for a short period of time, and it's very obvious to us that this is a strong community with an outstanding sheriff's office. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation thanks the Wise County Sheriff's Office and everyone for their valued assistance in this investigation. But we understand the focus really needs to be on Deputy Boyd and Deputy Boyd's recovery for everything he did yesterday to stop this. The role of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation in this case has been to provide assistance to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office with our field agents and then with our forensic scientists. We are committed to doing everything that we can to assist in any way the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and provide them the assistance that they need. As you have heard, we have been working with them side by side around the clock since this brutal murder occurred in El Paso County. Anything that they request from us, we certainly will assist them in an expedited manner in the days to come as they continue to do their investigation from here. Before I close, again, I want to express my gratitude to all of local law enforcement here. They've been an open book with their investigation, which will assist everyone in Colorado in hopefully furthering our investigations there. Finally, the Colorado Department of Public Safety and the rest of Colorado State government continues to offer our thoughts and our prayers to the family of Tom Clements. Many lives have forever been changed by that event, and we want to ensure that they know our thoughts are with them in this very, very difficult time. Thank you very much.
We will take a few questions. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do and a lot of investigators that are here working. I'll try to address a couple of them here in just a second. One thing that I wanted to briefly give you, I've had numerous emails of wanting to know who all's working on this case. There's a long list of law enforcement across the nation that's been working on this case. We will send that out to you. Colorado Department of Corrections, obviously everybody that we introduced here, the Texas Rangers, the Crime Lab, DPS Crime Lab, FBI, ATF, and there's a long list. The Office of Inspector General in Texas. So it's a good collaborative effort across the state of Texas and Colorado by a number of agencies that are all pitching in to compare information. We'll take a few questions and try to answer what we can. Yes.
Do we know where he was going, where the suspect was heading? Why he was in Texas?
We have no idea at this time why he was in Texas. We're hoping with the forensic review of his vehicle and the searching of the vehicle, we'll learn more at that point. Yes, sir, Keith.
David, I understand the man was guilty of 2 murders in Colorado. What was the second one?
I'm not sure. I have not personally seen his criminal history. I do know that he has a lengthy criminal history and has been in the Colorado Department of Corrections off and on. He is 28 years old.
What information can you release that possibly connects this shooter with the 2 murders in Colorado?
His question, if you didn't hear, what can we release that connects this shooter here in Texas with Colorado? Right now, as I said a second ago, the only thing that we have that connects it to Colorado is obviously the identity of Mr. Ebel being in Colorado, the car with the license plates from Colorado. Until we do trace evidence, until we look at biological evidence, DNA, and it won't be decided if he's related until we get those tests back.
Have you been able to look at any sort of ballistics in any of the cases yet and compare them?
We have not looked at the ballistics as of yet. I will tell you that it's ongoing with the ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
A question for Mr. Johnson. There's been a lot of discussion, if you could step to the mic, I appreciate it. There's been a lot of discussion about white supremacist groups, whether they're a connection, which groups, connection to the prisons that he was in. I know that you're probably still looking into all that information. What can you tell us about the threat in Colorado from these white supremacist groups, whether or not this gentleman is connected?
Well, I really can't speak to that in any fashion as it relates to the murder of Mr. Clements. You know, this is something that's going to have to be looked at down the road, and we're going to have to take a look at and see where we're at. If your question is whether or not we were aware of any threat ahead of time, no, we were not.